There was a Hasbro Plus live stream showing off the new Transformers figures. We got some better in-hand images, or actually in-hand video, of the new characters, the last of the Rise of the Beasts, and all that, which I showed off in my last video. And we also got some looks at a video game one. And as a full disclaimer, I will be showing the radioactive figures and giving my opinions on it, because I have some points to make, and I think they're cool. But more about that when we get there. But yes, I will be talking about that after the mainline Studio series. So let's get into it. So starting with the Studio series, and of course the first one is Mohawk, and you know, they have some funny things to say about them. These are, you know, some of the developers, but it's really hard to pause it just right where it's not a blurry frame. But that motorcycle looks a lot better than it did in its first image, and that's looking pretty cool. I mean, not much more compared to what we originally saw, but you know, that is pretty cool as Mohawk. Rumble still looking all rumbly, but one thing he does is he actually goes ahead and puts Rumble in that sound wave, so that is actually pretty cool. That makes more sense of what his vehicle mode is. Yeah, I probably should have included that little bit of info in my last video, but oh well. And that gets us on to Wheeljack, which, you know, I've really just grown to really like this figure. I was concerned about the door wings, like I thought that might be some mistransformation. Here they are showing it in real life. I think that is just kind of how the door wings are, which is a bit of a shame, I think, but I think I can live with it because that van looked really good. And they start to show us the backside, and that's where I pause for the cause with a nice little blurry paused frame. That backpack, not only is it, I mean, it's not that bad of a backpack. I just think, or I wish, that it could collapse a bit more. That was kind of a letdown when I first saw the backside of this figure for the first time. And honestly, there's quite a bit hanging off back there. Like, look clear back to the original image. You see absolutely nothing of a backpack on the original reveal image. I think that's a little bit of a cheap advertising there. They cut off the backpack for the promo shot. But yeah, I was just kind of surprised to see how much is truly back there for how little we saw. But the backside of the van, it looks like his back windshield has seen some better days. That's a bit unfortunate, but really it still looks phenomenal. I think I can live with those couple little things. I wish it could be a bit better, but it's still an awesome looking Wheeljack. And I know I was nitpicky about a couple things, but I think it's becoming apparent. I mean, this was an officially licensed car. Want to know what else was an officially licensed car? That's right, everyone's fan favorite, this thing. You know, and I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. It's a phenomenal car. It's a phenomenal vehicle mode. But the robot mode just lacks that much more. So I think that we're starting to see a theme of they're focusing on the vehicle mode a bit too much, you know. I mean, the vehicle modes are looking phenomenal, but if the robot modes are kind of starting to be left hanging like this, I think some flip-flop needs to happen there. Not that I'm saying I don't want a car with 4 wheels that rolls, you know, because I do. That's what a car is supposed to do, and you want the accuracy. But, you know, this robot mode was kind of a bit of a mini disaster. And this guy has a good front view, but just turning around to that back view, I was just surprised to see that not folding up nicely and just kind of left dangling there. It's like you slap the Volkswagen sign right on his butt there because it doesn't even fold into his back or something clever like that. And with the doors backwards, just because, you know, I mean, I think you get what I'm trying to say. I think it's just the little things that could make or break it. And right now, phenomenal vehicle mode, but it's slowly starting to chip away and break it. Especially when they didn't even reference that he had all that kind of car dangling on the original image. Made this image look cool, and I still think it's a cool character, just those little things that I didn't even know existed, and now that I do, it's just kind of feels like it could have been dealt with better. Now, the last one, they do show off the Scorponok. I mean, not much more is known about it. They do kind of explain why it's purple. I mean, this is really interesting to just kind of hear them jabber on about who did and why they did some of these the way they did. And they really did some diving into why this is purple and how there was supposed to be multiple in the movie. So, as of right now, I don't know, but I still feel like the conclusion of we might see a few more repaints of this is very strong with some of the things they talked about. The link to this Hasbro Plus Fanstream is in the description. It's just a simple YouTube past live stream, so I'll link it down there if you want to hear about this for yourself. And then they finally do show off the Megatron, a better closer look at the jet, I think, but it's still Megatron, it's still phenomenal, although my opinions from the previous video are still the same. But now it's time to talk about the things that have been blowing up recently, the whole reactive Transformers. I think I may have said that wrong earlier, but here's a little bit of a disclaimer first. I don't plan on wanting these. I am, I'm not into the game. I know it's not out yet. I don't plan on playing the game. I mean, right, I can't really speak much for what these are other than that they're new and how they look, but there's some opinions that I have that I think can kind of tie into some of the other Transformers, like the main Studioseries, because although I don't plan on playing the game or anything, I gotta be honest, these look amazing. So that's just kind of the disclaimer. I'm talking about it as not someone who's really going to want these, but just talking about it as I see it and for what they are. So, as you've seen it for the last minute, as I've been jabbering on, there's Bumblebee and Starscream. I mean, a bit of a different take on Bumblebee, but that is, those both are clean, super clean vehicle modes. I don't see any arms exactly flailing out the bottom or anything, right? I mean, that's clean. And a closer look at Starscream, I mean, I'm just blown away. For a Starscream, that's clean. There's, of course he has the jet wings on the back, but there's no major vehicle mode parts. Like, everything is just so nicely integrated throughout. It's obviously not just, oh, hey, the legs just tucked underneath and don't transform at all, right? I mean, you can see parts of the vehicle or jet all over. It's not just like, we're putting the jet on its back and here's its arms and legs. I mean, these Transformers seem kind of up a notch. And there's Bumblebee in vehicle mode, or not vehicle mode. That is a perfectly good robot. Insane thing there. Everything just seems so much more on a higher level. And the reason I wanted to talk about these is because of how good they look. I mean, it's a different take on Bumblebee. And I'm not saying that I wish this is how the mainline stuff looked, this is its own series, the other is its own series, but getting down to the actual Transformers themselves and how the vehicle mode and robot mode look, like, I feel like Hasbro could take their own inspiration from these characters and, like, put it into the Studioseries. Like, these guys seem flawless. They seem sturdy, they seem really well made, and like I said, just kind of on that next level. And they come in 2-packs. I'm not going to talk about that much because, like I said, I don't plan on liking these. I mean, I like them, but, I mean, when the Prime image came out a couple days ago, it's looking like Prime. That's all I can say. It's a good-looking Prime. I mean, it's not a bad Prime at all. And everything just looks clean. You can tell that they spent a crap ton of time on these. And like I said, I wish, or I hope they take inspiration from these and bring it into the Studioseries. I mean, there's coloring is everything everywhere. I know the YouTube video timeline thing is in the way right there, but the Prime truck front, I mean, the amount of paint deal, the amount of paint detail, the attention to detail is just, like I said, up an entire notch. And these are, just other figures just for a game. If they spent this much time or, looks on the movie ones, then we'd really have something there. Then there's a sound wave as well. It turns into a bit of car, you can see. I didn't want to talk about these long, I just wanted to, kind of show them and get my thoughts of how the Studioseries could be improved because of these. But with that, those were my thoughts and opinions for the new stuff shown at the Hasbro Plus Fanstream. I'm even more excited for Mohawk. I think that some different things could be done with the overall Studioseries line. However, I am still looking forward to that Wheeljack. And, there's some good things happening everywhere. And just really amazing. And also, may I say, thanks for watching. I didn't do much on this channel for the last 2 years, and my last video turned out to be the most popular one ever, so that's amazing. But with that, this is 4004 Transformers saying adios. See you next time.